Hello and welcome to the Rugby Chat pre-show. Hey there, David. Welcome to the Radio Chat, Rugby Chat pre-show. Deary me. Let me just put you in my green hands, purple hands. Oops, there we go. Hey there, folks. How you doing? Hi, I'm Paul from DrivingMaul.com, and I'll be hosting the Rugby Chat in a second. So, but let's talk about what happened last weekend. And you know what? I've not got it up. So let's do a quick. So we had obviously the Rugby World Cup games and deciding who went through to the quarterfinals. What we'll be doing in the Rugby Chat is we'll be looking forward to the quarterfinals rather than back so much at the games. But obviously we had that a couple of big games: Ireland, France, and Australia, Wales, where Australia put up that monumental defensive effort. But in all honesty, Wales really should have scored. There were a couple of overlaps they just threw away, and which is a real shame for them, and means that they are now facing South Africa in the quarterfinals. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about France after losing to Ireland, having to face New Zealand. Obviously, Ireland will be get to host. Well, not really host, but gets to play Argentina. And finally, you've got gone blank. Australia versus Scotland. So we'll go through all those games. We'll also recap our favourite moments of the pool stages, which have been probably the most exciting of any Rugby World Cup. And then we will talk, and then we'll also actually talk about some of the disciplinary stuff as well. Yes, they do need to tighten up against Scotland. Do need to tighten up against Australia. They're going to have to do a lot of things better against Australia. To be totally honest, the Australian defence look very strong, so they're going to really need to try and break that down. The some interesting things to come out of the. Hi, thanks for the hearts. Oh yeah, sorry, I should have run through things like if you swipe to the side, you can share it with other people, and if you tap the screen, you give me love hearts. All very fun. And I will also be putting this recording up onto YouTube if you missed the beginning as well. So that's all that's going on. So Scotland will have to up their attack to try and break down Australia. One of the interesting things, thank you, Nikki. One of the interesting things of the Welsh defence against Australia was that they try to hold the player up rather than putting him down straight away. And this slowed the ball down for Australia, even if they didn't manage to get the proper choke tackle going. And the maul and the turnover, it did slow the ball down. So that was an interesting thing. I think Brian Moore was one that mentioned that one in retrospect. That was so. One of the things we'll talk about is the Wales South Africa. Is it going to come down to the better coach? Because Gatland is clearly very good at that. The other stuff that's going on at the moment that we won't be talking about in the Rugby Chat, but let's just run through it anyway. The Currie Cup is coming to the sharp end. So the Lions have finished the regular season undefeated. They get to host the good morning, everybody. They get to host the Cheetahs, and the Bulls will be hosting Western Province in the other semi-finals. So the Currie Cup in South Africa is coming to the sharp end. The same in New Zealand. The ITM Cup is coming to has finished its. Canterbury hosts Taranaki and Auckland host Tasman. So will the big city boys be going through, or will the smaller guys repeat their final from last year? For the question up, can any of the home nations and Northern Hemisphere teams go all the way in the Rugby World Cup? I predicted New Zealand, Ireland as my final before the tournament, and I'm going to stick with that for the time being. Yes, Australia have been looking good, but they've had to look good against the opposition, whereas Ireland has got away with not looking good, and they're warming up quite nicely. So I'm sticking with All Blacks, Ireland, yes. So can they beat the All Blacks at the final? They've not done it ever before, but hey, it's the first time for everything. So yes, one of them can go all the way. I think they're the only ones that have a proper opportunity of doing so. So yes, it's ITM Cup. We could have a repeat of last season's final, or we could see the two city boys playing each other. NRC is still ticking along. Yeah, I've not seen the injury news actually. So it looks like Paul O'Connell's out, but but there's replacements there, and with their back row they have got leadership in the scrum to replace him. Whereas Johnny Sexton, we need to see how he's doing. If he can kick or not. If he can't kick, then clearly Madigan's going to have to step up for a full game, and we'll see if he can do that. It's going to be difficult. Also, I think they might have lost two back rows. So do they have the flankers to replace? I think they've got one, but I'm not sure they've got two, which could be a problem. So we'll have to see whether. So yes, Ireland is going to come down to if they how many fit players they've got. I've not checked out the injury news. Final bit of domestic stuff. NRC is still going. Brisbane City are still unbeaten after their victory over Vikings at the weekend. So they're still going good. Pro 12 is back in action again this weekend, I think, and obviously Top 14 is going on, and Aviva Premiership will be kicking off. So I've got my season preview for the Aviva Premiership on drivingmaul.com. So have a look there. Gone all quick because we have like 2 minutes before the rugby chat starts. So I'm going to drop off now and see you on Twitter for the next hour as we tweet about. As we use #RugbyChat to chat about rugby. So, have fun. I'll be putting this on YouTube, so you can check it out there. That's it. See you tomorrow.